You are listening to the mainstream media, and they are trying to sell you the biggest lie in sports history right now. They want you to believe that the Caitlin Clark effect is dead. They are looking at the newly released 2026 WNBA schedule, and they are pointing to a specific number, 4 games moved to NBA arenas compared to 9 last year, and they are telling you, see? The hype is gone. The fans moved on. The revolution is over. But I am here to tell you that is absolute garbage. It is lazy reporting, it is wishful thinking from people who resent her, and quite frankly, it is insulting to your intelligence as a basketball fan. The Caitlin Clark effect isn't dead. It is just lying in wait, and God help the league when it wakes up. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we need to have a serious conversation about the narrative spinning around the WNBA schedule release. There is a lot of noise out there claiming that because fewer Indiana Fever games have been moved to big NBA arenas so far, it means Caitlin Clark's star power is fading after her injury-plagued 2025 season.
And we know the schedule came out the other day. Of course, there's still not a CBA deal in place. I've had my eye on for the last day involving Caitlin Clark and WNBA franchises, proclaiming that the other WNBA teams have basically decided that the Caitlin Clark effect is over.
We are going to break down why that is completely false, why the CBA negotiations are the real reason for the hesitation, and why the league is sitting on a powder keg of excitement that is about to explode the second she steps back on the court. But first, if you know that Caitlin Clark is still the face of basketball and you are tired of the media downplaying her impact, do me a huge favor. Smack that subscribe button, ring the bell, and drop a like on this video. We are building the biggest community of real hoop fans right here, and we need you with us. Alright, let's dismantle this "the hype is dead" narrative piece by piece. So, the WNBA dropped the 2026 schedule, and immediately the headlines started. Fever only have 4 games moved to big arenas, down from 9 last year, and the critics are taking a victory lap. They are saying that because Caitlin missed time last season with that ankle injury, and because she only played 13 games, the casual fans have forgotten about her. They think the magic was a one-time thing. This is where context matters, and this is where black and white sports hit the nail on the head.
By the way, I believe all of this will change when the CBA is signed. WNBA fans want to fill NBA arenas to watch Caitlin Clark play. A change where several other teams decide to move games over into NBA arenas.
You have to look at when this schedule was released. We are in January. Last year, the schedule didn't drop until much later, and teams like the Atlanta Dream and Dallas Wings didn't announce venue changes until March or April. We are 2 months ahead of schedule. Comparing the number of moved games right now to the final number from last year is like comparing a game at halftime to a final score. It's incomplete data.
As we know, they're always trying to figure out a way to downplay the popularity of Caitlin Clark. The WNBA regular season schedule announced Wednesday included 19 games moved to different arenas, up from 15 games last year. Opponents have moved just 4 games to bigger arenas for Caitlin Clark and the Fever this season, down from 9 last year.
But the bigger reason, the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about, is the collective bargaining agreement. We still do not have a signed deal between the players and the league. There is still a very real threat of a work stoppage or a delayed start to the season. Put yourself in the shoes of an owner for a second. Even the petty ones. Are you going to book a massive NBA arena, pay the deposit, hire the extra security, and market a game for May or June when you don't even know if the season is going to start on time? Of course not. That's just bad business. The reason we haven't seen the Mystics or the Dream move their games yet isn't because they think fans don't want to see Caitlin Clark. It's because they are terrified of the CBA negotiations blowing up in their faces. I guarantee you, mark my words, the second that ink is dry on the new CBA, the second the season is confirmed, you are going to see a flood of announcements.
Well, I think large part, if not all of it, is because they don't know what's going on with the CBA right now. And that we're looking up and we're getting a shortened season because they couldn't get CBA done. If the Atlanta Dream and the Mystics don't end up moving games for Caitlin Clark, I will be shocked.
Dream move game to State Farm Arena. Mystics move game to Capital One. Sun move game to Mohegan Sun Arena's big configuration. Why? Because these owners like money. And despite what the media tells you, Caitlin Clark is still the only person in this league who prints money on demand. And let's address the injury narrative. Yes, 2025 was tough. Caitlin played 13 games. The Fever struggled with communication about her health, and fans got frustrated. It was a lost year in many ways. But does anyone seriously think that because she got hurt, she lost her superpowers? Does anyone think that because she sat out, we suddenly forgot that she is the greatest shooter we've ever seen? If anything, the absence makes the heart grow fonder. We haven't seen a fully healthy, unleashed Caitlin Clark in almost a year. The anticipation isn't gone. It's built up. It's pressurized. The moment she steps on the floor for that first game, the moment she crosses half court and pulls up for a logo three, and swish, the internet is going to break. The ratings are going to spike. And every single one of these reporters writing her obituary is going to be scrambling to delete their tweets. We also have to look at the expansion teams. The media is trying to spin this growth narrative, saying, oh look, the Toronto Tempo and Portland Fire are moving games to big arenas. The league is growing without Caitlin. Stop it. The expansion teams are moving games because they are brand new and they are trying to capitalize on the new team smell. That is great for the league. We want that. But don't use their success to tear down Caitlin. The reality is, when the Fever go on the road, even last year when Caitlin wasn't playing, they were still the highest drawing road team. Fans were buying tickets hoping she would play. That is the definition of gravity. That is the definition of a superstar. There is also a darker side to this, and we have to be real about it. There are still some decision-makers in this league who are, frankly, petty. There are owners who might resent that their franchise value is tied to a player on another team. You look at a team like the Atlanta Dream, playing in a 4,000-seat gym. It is embarrassing. It is a disservice to the sport to have Caitlin Clark play in a venue smaller than some high school gyms. If they don't move that game, it's not because the demand isn't there. Despite its incompetence, it's refusing to accept that the WNBA runs through Indiana. But even the most stubborn owners eventually have to answer to their bank accounts. And the math simply doesn't lie. You move the game, you make millions. You keep it in the small gym, you lose millions. Eventually, greed wins. And in this case, greed means showcasing Caitlin Clark. So, do not let the sports media gaslight you. Do not let them tell you that the Caitlin Clark effect was a fad. Fads don't change the economy of a sport. Fads don't get 19 games moved to NBA arenas. Fads don't cause a league to restructure its entire media rights deal. What we are seeing right now is just the calm before the storm. The league is holding its breath for the CBA. The owners are hedging their bets. But the fans? The fans haven't gone anywhere. We are just waiting for number 22 to tie her shoes up. And when she does, and when she reminds everyone exactly who she is, I want you to remember who told you the truth and who told you the hype was dead. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Do you think the lack of move games is just because of the CBA? Or do you think there is some pettiness going on from the other owners? And are you worried about Caitlin's return? Or do you think she's going to dominate right out of the gate?